here are all the shades. Here's look number 1, look number 2, number 3, and 4. Hey beauties, welcome back to my channel. And if you're new here, my name is Nat. Today, I'm super excited to share with you all everything that I got from Singe Beauty, which is Angelica Nyqvist's brand, and I hope I'm saying that correctly. She's awesome here on YouTube. She recently had a 2-year anniversary sale on her website, so I picked up her face brushes, her eye brushes, including the expansion set, and her 4 blushes. I previously got her eyeshadow palette, the Galactic Visitor. This one I got from ifeelbeautiful.ca, and I've been super excited to try it out, so let's test it out together. Here are her face brushes. They're synthetic, so vegan, and they have an aluminum ferrule and a wood handle. I'm going to go through and read you all the description off her website of what each brush is best used for. First up, we have the F01, and it is a foundation or cream product brush to buff in product while still allowing a precise application. Next, we have the F02, which is a super soft brush with a pointed tip for precision that's perfect for blending concealer or eyeshadow primer without creating streaks. Then we have the F03, the brush that balances between firm and flexible. It is perfect for blending out cream products. Next, we have the F04, which is a powder brush that picks up product easily. Because of how the bristles are made, the F04 makes it easy to get an even application of product. Then we have the F05, a medium fluffy round brush perfect for covering bigger areas with powder products, ideally on the cheeks. And lastly, we have the F06, the wispy angled brush that is perfect for more pigmented powder products, delivering a feathery, well-blended result. Now let's check out her eye brushes. This is her original eye set, and this is her newly released expansion set. So first up, we have the E01. This flat tapered brush is the perfect makeup tool to pack on color, mattes, or shimmers. The bristles are cut to easily pick up product, and the pointed tip helps with precision. Then we have the E02, which is a medium fluffy brush designed to blend and pack color into the crease. The tapered bristles help with creating definition while still making blending easy. Next we have the E03, a bigger, slightly tapered, fluffy crease brush to blend out edges or apply matte shadows seamlessly all over the crease. This is the perfect brush for a lighter transition. Here's the E04, the perfect brush to blend edges or apply color with precision to the crease. The E04 is also a great brush to smoke out your lower lash line. Next we have the E05, a small detailed fluffy brush to, with precision, add colors to the crease or outer corner without losing intensity. Then we have the E06, the brush that does it all. The E06 is great for packing on color when you want to cover a bit more area but still keep the intensity. Just tip it on the side to blend the edges. The last one in her original eye set is the E07, which is a detailed brush for the inner corner, lower lash line, or when you need something tiny. And now on to the expansion set. First up, we have the E08, which is a fluffier brush for softer blending in the crease. The pinch design creates a denser middle with softer edges to help create the perfect gradient. Next, we have the E09, a flat shader brush perfect for shimmer and creamier formulas. The sharp edge also allows for great detail work. Then we have the E10, a domed, dense packing brush perfect for blending the outer corner. Next, we have the E11, a detailed pencil brush ideal for smudging product or for small areas. It's the perfect combination between pointed and dense. And lastly, we have the E12, an eyeliner brush with an angled ferrule to create the perfect eyeliner application. The angled ferrule is useful for beginners or seasoned pros to help create a crisp liner look. Let's test these out together. I'm going to go ahead and apply my foundation. This is just the DIOR foundation stick in the shade 2.5N. And we're going to go in with the F01. It's very soft, like the bristles. And it's pretty dense. Like it is good for buffing, I feel like. At first I was a little bit like, oh, it's kind of small. Like the surface area of the F01 is kind of small, but I think it works because then it gets into the sides of my nose. It fits right in the middle of my forehead for the times where I've already done my eyebrows and then apply foundation. I'm quite happy with this. Got blended in pretty quickly, don't you think? Now on to priming the eyes. I'm going to use my MAC paint pot in soft ochre, and I'm going to try out this F02. But I'm also going to use this for concealer later. Very soft. I think all of these brushes are soft. Soft and gentle, but still with like the perfect amount of density. I'm going to set my eyes now with translucent setting powder from MERCIER, and I'm going to use the F07. It's time for eyeshadow. So here's the palette again, and this is what it looks like. I feel like it is set up for 4 different eye looks, which I'm going to actually attempt today. I'm going to do 1, 2, 3, 4, and then match them up with the 4 blushes that I got. But first, let's start off with some swatches. I'm just going to go horizontally and down. First up, we have We. Wow, that's soft and buttery. See that? Then we have Come. A nice shimmer. Then In. And Peace. That's kind of fun, right? They're named We Come in Peace. That's really pigmented. Now we have Space Dust. And Soul. Next is Hoodoos. That's pretty. And Cowgirl. These mats are pretty impressive. Next up, we have Saucer. A nice matte mint green. Then we have Beam. I think this has a bit of, does it have a bit of a shift? It's nice and shimmery though. Next is Believe. They all swatch so smoothly. And then we have Infinity. It's an interesting teal. Then we have Encounter. This is more like a topper. Next is Orbit. Then Milky Way. And the last shade is Eclipse. A nice matte black. So here are all the shades of the Galactic Visitor palette from Singe Beauty. And since we're doing swatches, let's go ahead and swatch the blushes. First up, we have Persistent Persimmon. That's cool. Then we have Timid Tomato. These are so silky. They are called Evocative Silk Blushes, and they are silky. Then we have Risky Raisin. I like that these blush tones that she chose to go with are a little bit on the different side. And the last shade is Riveting Rhubarb. Here are her blush shades. For look number 1, I'm going to go in with the shade We and the E08. I'm just going to put that down in the outer corner and up into the crease, using this as a transition shade. This shade is very close to my skin tone, so you probably can't see it, but it should help blend out the rest of the shades that we layer on top. Now I'm going to go in with the shade In and the E03. Same thing, starting in the outer corner, laying this down on the crease. And let's deepen things up with the shade Peace, and let's use the E01. These shadows are very pigmented and super easy to blend out. Actually, I'm just going to go ahead and pull this shade across my lash line. And blend it up into the crease area. Okay, now I'm going to take the E08 and let's see, the shade, let's try In, and we're just going to blend out this edge. Switching back to the E01 and dipping into a little bit more of the shade Peace. Pack in a little bit more pigment in the crease area. And I think I want to bring this shade in just a bit. Just using little patting motions, so this way it deposits the pigment. So we're just trying to fill in this little space here, I think. I'm going back in with the E08 with no added product, just to blend out the inner corner area. And now I'm going to take an EO4 with the shade In. So I want to see what it looks like in this space. Now let's pop on a shimmer. So I'm going to use the shade Come, and I'm just going to go in with my finger and pop that kind of in the center. Pulling it towards the inner corner. That's pretty. You guys see? And now going back in again with the EO1 and a little bit more of the shade Peace. This nice maroon or burgundy. I'm going to take the EO4 with no added product just to blend out this edge, just so it's nice and soft. And for concealer today, I'm just going to go in with the Creal Face Flex 2.0 and blend it out with an FO2. That works pretty good for concealer. Because the rest of the products I'm going to use are powders, I went ahead and set this half of my face. Let's finish up this eye look, starting with the lower lash line. I'm going to go in with the EO1 and the shade Peace. And I'm just going to pull that across my lower lash line. And blend out the edge with an EO4 and the shade In. I'm using the same EO4 and I just dipped into that first shade We. I'm going to see what this looks like as an underbrow highlight. So I just applied eyeliner and I'm going to go over top with the shade Eclipse, the matte black, and the E12. Been curious about this brush, see how it performs. I think I would like this if I were to pull it into the inner corner because it's so detailed. I'm used to using a bigger angled brush for my eyeliner on for the wing, but let's see how this goes. That's pretty good, right? This is great for detail work. And I think you can get in between the lashes here pretty well with this brush. Ooh. I normally don't take my eyeliner on the top lid all the way in here, but this brush sure makes that easy. So you can get just your lash line. I'm pretty happy with that. Now I'm going to use the E12 again to blend out my lower lash line. That worked pretty quickly too, hey? For bronzer today, I'm going to use the Too Faced Chocolate Soleil Matte Bronzer and the F04. I'm just going to start up in my forehead area. Blend it up into the hairline. I usually use a cream bronzer or contour, but I felt like doing something different today. This shape is good for getting into the hairline, I think. Has anyone else tried Singe Beauty products? And what are your thoughts? I actually never would have thought to use a brush shape like this for bronzer, but of the options to choose from to complete this face, this is actually working out pretty well, I think. That was a little bit extra, hey? Let's see how this works at blending it out. It's pretty nice. And for a quick nose contour, I'm just going to pinch the bristles together, dip into the bronzer, and run it alongside my nose. A little bit up into the brow bone. That works pretty well too. And then I'm just going in with the F02 that I use for concealer. Run it along the top to blend out the edge. The blush I'm going to pair with this eye look is the Timid Tomato. And I'm going to use the F05. This blends out nicely, don't you think? I do like the formula. Let's move on to look number 2. I'm going to go in with the shade Hoodoos, this one, and the E08. Starting in the outer corner and bringing it up into the crease area. This is a pretty shade, like even just on its own, don't you think? Let's bring it up higher so that it peeks through as we lay down the other colors. Gently bringing it into the inner corner. I really like this shade. You can even just wear this as a one and done. Next, I'm going to go in with the shade Cowgirl and the E06. Same thing, starting in the outer corner. I'm doing some patting motions just to lay down the color, lay down the pigment. That's a pretty shade too. And then some circular motions to blend it up into the crease area. This is a nice blending brush. I think it's described as the one and done brush, and I can totally see how that's possible. Just picked up some more pigment and I'm gonna pack it in that outer V for intensity. That's pretty, don't you think? So far, my impression of these eyeshadows is good. Like they're easy to work with. They blend out nicely, but they're also very pigmented. Let's try out this Soul shade, the yellow, the mustardy yellow, and the E07. This shade, I think I'm gonna start low. See what that looks like. That's pretty cool. Like it blends out really nicely. And then I'm just gonna take it up slowly and blend it in to the rest of the shades that we have going on. I quite like this color combo. What do you guys think? Cool. Now I'm just going to take the EO8 with no added product, just so I can blend out this inner corner top edge. That looks better, right? And then back to the EO7, I'm going to pack on some more of this mustard shade. Can you guys see? Let's dip into some shimmer. I'm going to use the shade Space Dust. And I think I'm just going to pop that right in the center. Wow. Interesting. That's pretty gold. It's got a little bit of fallout, but that's okay. It's to be expected. It's mainly because I don't spray my shimmers. I don't know why. I don't know if it's because I'm lazy, but I know Angelica Nyqvist, she likes to spray her shimmers. Now I'm going back in with the EO6 and the shade Cowgirl. Just pack it in the inner corner to blend out the edge where the shimmer meets. I just finished the rest of this face off camera, so we can go ahead and finish up this eye look. I'm going to take the EO1 and the shade Cowgirl, starting at the outer corner, and pulling it almost all the way. Because I'm actually kind of curious to see what that mustard shade looks like, just in the inner corner. And now I'm going to take an EO4 and the shade Hoodoos, just to blend out this bottom edge. And same thing on this side, I'm going to finish up my eyeliner with the E12 and the shade Eclipse. So far, I think this might be the most impressive brush for me because I don't have anything like this in my collection. And it's so good for getting right in between your lashes. The blush shade that I'm going to pair with this eye look is the Persistent Persimmon. And I'm going to go in with the F05. Wow, this shade is a little intimidating in the pan, but on, it's really pretty. Can you see? I quite like this shade. And there we have it. These are the finished first two looks. Here's look number 1. And here's look number 2. I'll be back for looks number 3 and 4. For look number 3, I'm going to go in with the shade Saucer, this nice matte mint, and the E03. Starting in the crease area. We're just going to lay down a blended out wash of color in this crease area. And now we're going to go in with the shade Infinity, this nice teal, with the E06. So we're just going to pat this down in the outer corner, blending it up gently into the crease area. It's a pretty shade. Pulling it across my lash line. And gently towards the inner corner. I'm going back in with the E03 just to blend out this edge, soften it. We're going to go back to the Saucer shade and the E07, and we're just going to lay that down in the inner corner. Blending it into the teal shade. And I'm just packing this on to make it pop more. Going back to the E06 with the shade Infinity. And we're just going to deepen up this outer corner area so that there is a definite difference between the outer corner shade and the inner corner shade. It's shimmer time. Let's go in with the shade Believe. Just my finger. And we're going to pop this on the third of my eye. Wow, that's vibrant. It's pretty. And then for the inner corner, let's try the shade Beam. It's pretty, don't you think? It's a little bit of fallout, but it's all good. I think I want to intensify this a little bit, so I'm going to go back in with the E06 and the shade Infinity. I also like to do another coat of matte on top of the edge where the shimmer meets, just so it looks like it's one. And we can blend this out a little more. Going back to the EO3 so we can soften the top edge. And now we're going to use the EO7 with some more of the shade Saucer, the Mint, just to bring this up a touch more. I just finished the rest of this half of my face off camera, so we can go ahead and finish up this eye look. I'm going to go in with an E11 and the shade Infinity. We're just going to pull that along the lower lash line. And now I'm stamping in this corner because I want to keep the intensity of the pigment just in the outer corner. I'm going back to the EO7 and a little bit more of the shade Saucer. This isn't really a blending brush, but I'm just going to see how this works. And then I'm just going to blend out, soften out this bottom edge. Now I'm going to use the EO3. There's no added product. Soften out the entire edge of the bottom and might as well do the top as well. To finish up my eyeliner, I'm going to go in with the E12 and the shade Eclipse, that matte black, just to go over top and in between my lashes. I thought it'd be fun to try this mint eyeliner in my waterline. It's just Annabelle brand from the drugstore. Do you guys see? That's kind of cool. And using the E12 again, just to blend out the black eyeliner that I put below the mint shade in the waterline. I just threw on some mascara quick, and now we can apply the blush. I'm going to pair this eye look with Risky Raisin and an F05. What do you guys think? That's a pretty shade too. I'm not sure if it goes with this eye look, but I do like this shade. What do you guys think? What are your thoughts? And finally, for look number 4, we're going to go in with the shade Orbit and an E08. Starting again in the outer corner. Taking it up into the crease. I like this shade better on than in the pan. It's better that way than the other way around. Let's go ahead and take it across my my upper lash line. Gently in towards the inner corner. It's kind of pretty. I really do like this shade way more than I thought I was going to. I'm trying to decide how I want to deepen this up. Because what's left in this row for us to choose from is just the matte black shade. I'm actually going to start off with the E12 and this shade Eclipse, the matte black shade, and just work it into my lash line. What I'm debating is if I wanted to add the black shade to deepen up this eye look. I'm not sure if it's going to change the tone of this Orbit shade, which I actually really like. What should we do? I say let's just try it out. So I'm going to use the E10 and just kind of maybe smoke out the lash line area. Blending it upwards. I'm using very little pressure just to gently pull it this way. Pull it towards my inner corner. That actually turned out pretty well. What do you guys think? I'm into this. Now I'm going to go back to the EO8 with no product, no added product, just to blend this out some more. E10 again, and the shade Eclipse, the black matte shade. I'm just building this up gently. Back to the EO8 for more blending. I think I'm going to dip into the shade Orbit a little bit and add that to the top. Okay, let's throw on some shimmer first and see what kind of adjustments we need to make. I'm going to go in first with the shade Milky Way and just my finger. And I'm going to put that on the third of my eye. That's pretty. You guys see? And then for inner corner, I'm going to go in with the shade Encounter. Oh, that's actually more blue than I thought it would be. But that still looks pretty cool, right? Now dipping back into the shade Eclipse with the E10. We're gonna deepen up this outer corner again, blend out the shimmer shade edge. I just finished the rest of this side of my face off camera, so we can go ahead and finish up this eye look. I'm going to take the E10 again with the shade Eclipse and bring that across my lower lash line. This brush is a little bit big for this job, but I thought I'd try it out. And now I'm going to go in with the E05 and the shade Orbit, just at the edge of the black shade that we put down, so we can soften it a bit. And going in again with the E12 and the shade Eclipse to finish up my eyeliner. And same thing, using this to smooth out my lower lash line eyeliner. And now the last blush that we have is Riveting Rhubarb. This time I want to try applying it with the F06. You guys see? All of these blushes are so, I don't even know what the proper word is to describe them, but just so silky. I know this side of my face is probably throwing you off. I'll do it like this. And here are looks 3 and 4. Number 3. And 4. Let me know if you guys have a favorite. Thank you so much for spending time with me. I appreciate all of you. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day, and I'll see you in the next one.
Oh, ha, ha.